We'll continue from where we left off last week. If you remember last week, we were discussing different issues, and we have some very interesting questions that some people asked last week. If you are just joining us, thank you for joining. Sorry, we started a little bit late. I was engaging in a number of other things. All right, thank you very much for joining. Facebook, thank you for joining. YouTube, thank you for joining. TikTok, thank you for joining. We have a very active and growing community on TikTok. If you are joining for the first time, please remember this program is basically designed to help everyone who is interested in going into export to answer some very important and critical questions. If you have joined, please drop a message in the chat. Let's know you have joined. If you are joined, please drop a message in the chat. Let's know you are with us. Kindly drop a message in the chat so we know. Just drop your name and where you are joining from. Let's know where you are joining from. Drop your name and let us know exactly where you are joining us from. Drop your name. Let's know exactly where you are joining from. IBK, where are you joining from? Facebook, please drop your name. Let's know where you are joining from. Kindly, stay really media from RF, Russian Federation. How is Russia? How is your, how is your president in Russia? How is your president in Russia? All right. Those on Facebook, Funny Gold, where are you joining us from? Chidex Opeyemi, where are you joining from? This is Export Discourse. What we basically do on this program is answering your question on export. If you are looking to go into export and you don't know how to go about it, that's exactly what this program is all about. You are looking to go into export, you don't know how to go about it, that is exactly what this program is all about. You can ask all your questions, import, export, international trade in general. Are you having a challenge? Are you having a challenge? What is the challenge you are having? Feel free to reach out. So the essence of this program is to be able to answer those questions for you. Okay, Bode Awelewa from Lagos, thank you very much for joining. Stay Yuli Media, Yulia from Russia, thank you very much for joining. The Ultimate Palace, where are you joining from? Folashade, where are you joining from? Miriam, where are you joining from? Kindly drop a message in the chat. Let's know where you are joining from. Thank you very much for joining. Remember, the session is for those who are trying to go into exportation. It's for those who are trying to go into exportation. And you need to know exactly how to go about it. The idea behind this program basically is to be able to answer a lot of questions. You know, every week we have a session on Zoom, where we talk about different area of export. But because of shortness of time, we do not entertain question on that platform. So if you have question, this is a platform to be able to ask your question. So if you're on Facebook, you're on TikTok, you're on YouTube, feel free to ask your question. And I've been talking about so many things that you can find in the Eureka Pack. I've been talking about so many things you can find in the Eureka Pack. And I've said several that Eureka Pack is a final solution. Final solution to the challenges that individuals are facing as far as export business is concerned. Why do we call it final solution? We call it final solution because it provides you the leverage through the information available to buyers. And like I said severally, that whenever I engage individuals and people that want to go into export, one of the issues they raise is the fact that they are looking for buyers. Even though I've maintained that that is not the major problem, because by the time you get the buyer, you now realize there are other issues, challenges that you need to deal with. But here, when you look at it, we have solved that problem, and we are hoping that you will be able to now begin to focus on what is important, which is the issue of getting ready for export business. So thank you very much for joining on Facebook, joining on TikTok, and joining on YouTube. The last time I talked about building a profile across different platforms. Building a profile across different platforms. I will talk about consistency takes your product from awareness to action. Consistency take your business from build your product rather from awareness to action. And let me explain what that means. You know, I've been talking about protocol to follow. The first protocol I talked about was avoid prospecting for buyer before you are ready. I don't want to overflow that. I spoke a lot and extensively about that. I spoke a lot and extensively about that. Do not, as much as you can, do not look for buyer when you are not ready for the export market. And the reason why I've been talking about this is because of the fact that if you start exploring the export market without being ready, you are going to make life difficult for yourself. And you're going to make life difficult for other Nigerians that might want to explore that market in future, talking to that same buyer. If you are until you are ready. Then the second was build a profile across different platforms online. Build a profile across different platforms online. Please, if you are wherever you are joining from, let's know. Okay, Adewale from Ibadan, thank you for joining. We have about 7 people on with Facebook. Let us know where you are joining from. We have about 5 on YouTube. Let's know where you are joining from. On TikTok, let's know where you are joining from. Kindly drop where you are joining from. Thank you. So today we are talking about consistency takes your product from awareness to action. Consistency takes your product from awareness to action. There is a model called the AIDA model. AIDA model. AIDA model means AIDAL model. What is this model all about? What is this model all about? The idea model basically say that before people take action on your product to buy, you are going to take them through different phases. You are going to take them through different phases. And these phases include awareness, interest, desire, action. Awareness, interest, desire, action. What is the awareness all about? Because it's important you have a good understanding of what the AIDA model is all about. Having a good understanding of this make you not to give up when you start marketing and you're not getting the response you want. It makes you to be able to know that, okay, this is what is going on right now. For example, it helps you, it encourages you to continue to put in those efforts. So the awareness is the first step. And what happened at that phase is getting the customer's attention. And this is done through advertisement. 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 So the advert you are doing is what helps you to be able to get the customer's attention. Now, if the customer keeps seeing your advert, if the customers keep seeing your message, you are going to move in from attention to interest, particularly if you have target marketed very well. Please, if you are just joining, this is a discourse. The reason why I'm talking about what I'm talking about is to get you to be able to ask your question. It's a discourse, so it's a dialogue, not a monologue. So you are expected to ask your question, either about what I'm talking about right now or about other area of interest, or other area of interest, or other area of interest. As long as international trade, either import or export, be rest assured I will be able to help. And if I can't help, I'll let you know what you need to do to find the help. Awareness. After awareness, what next? Interest. Remember, if you keep increasing the conversation, if you keep sending out the message, keep improving on your promotional activity, you are going to move from awareness to interest. Some people call the awareness, some people call it attention. Attention. Then now you have interest. Now, once you have the customer's attention, you need to generate interest in your product or service. This can be done by continuous exposure, highlighting the benefit of the product, telling story about the product, using humor. Using humor. Telling story about the product, using humor. Telling story about the product and using humor. The idea basically is that you want to get the people that you are targeting. You want to get the people that you are targeting to generate interest. Now, by the time you have interest generated, you are already getting close to where you want to be. You are already getting close to where you want to be. Because after you have generated interest, if you continue to promote, you will move from interest to desire. The next step is to create desire. This can be done by showing how product can solve their problem. make the customer life better or make them feel good. This information, as you keep exposing them to the information, desire is generated. The next phase is action. Action means they will click on the link, visit your website, drop their detail for you to be able to reach out. For you to be able to reach out. For you to be able to reach out. Why is this important? This is very important because you are trying to find buyer abroad. Remember, by this time, you are supposed to have online profile on different platforms of interest. Number two, you now have on one side your website, because the promotion online is to drive them to your website. If they are interested in what you are doing and they click on that link, if they are interested in what you are doing and they click on that link, if they are interested in what you are doing and they click on that link, it should take them to your website. It should take them to your website. Taking them to your website make them to see other things you have to offer. So the goal of promotion is to move them from awareness, interest, desire, action, and the action should take them to your website. When they get to your website, you have captivating information and something to offer that will make them give out their details, their phone number or their email. Because your goal is to be able to get their contact, and from conversation going forward, convert the contact to contract. This is exactly what Eureka Pack does for you. This is exactly what Eureka Pack does for you. So we actually designed Eureka Pack in a way that it takes you through this process one step at a time to be help you get that contact and also get contract. Someone is asking a question. As an SME, can we get a template on company profile? And what are the content that you should be on profile? When I say a profile, it's just like about us on your website. Just about us. Basically talking about who we are, what we do, why we exist. Who we are, what we do, why we exist, what we hope to achieve. The vision of the company, the purpose of the company, the values of the company, the vision, then purpose. Now, your ideology as a business, the ideology is purpose and values. Purpose and value. Purpose, values, who you are. Purpose, why you exist. Value, who you are. Purpose, why you exist. Purpose talk about why you exist, what you hope to achieve, why you exist. Vision is where you are going. And you know the interesting thing about ideology? Ideology keeps a business going. The reason why business die is because the business do not have, more often than not, ideology. A business that survived different challenging time, go and check it very well. Most businesses that have spent 20, 30, 40, 50 years, most, not all, have an ideology. There is something they believe in that drive what they do. And that is a combination, ideology is a combination of who you are and why you exist. Sometimes, even for an organization, the ideology is evil. But because they have an ideology, there is something driving what they do. There is something driving what they do. So, I don't know if I answered that question. Who you are, why you exist, what you do, and then of course, it will be good to back up what you do with some videos and pictures that shows maybe your factory or your warehouse or your product or your service. I don't know if I've answered that question. Any other question? And if you post every week, whatever you are posting should be such that it's helping the business, is helping the whoever visits your website to be able to boost the credibility you have. Any other question, please? Any other question? Any other question? So I've spoken about awareness, and that if awareness persists, it will generate interest. When interest persists, you will generate desire, and desire will lead to action. And desire will lead to action. The goal of promotion is not to sell piecemeal. That's why I really don't encourage people that are into going to export and they are trying to sell on Amazon. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Why? Particularly if you're in the US, that's okay. But if you're not in the US, it doesn't make sense, because what that does is you will only get little requests. You want to. That's why when you're advertising, you know the beauty of Facebook advert, YouTube advert, Instagram advert, the beauty of advertising on those platforms is that you can target market a location. So let me give you an example. So let's say you are targeting UK, buyer in the UK. There are markets in the UK, streets in the UK where you have a lot of African shops, or where you have or industrial area where you have manufacturer buying a particular raw materials. So when you are going to do your advert, you are target marketing that location. So when you are paying for the advert, you are paying a good sum, but you want people in a particular location. If the amount you are bidding is high, people in that location are going to see your advert. Now, because the people in that location are not retailers, they are not they are not consumers, they are retailers or wholesalers. The chance of getting the kind of order we are talking about is high. If you are looking at learning about the step-by-step of this process, that is why I recommend Eureka Pack. That's why I recommend Eureka Pack. You will have seen the pack if you check our page on Facebook. If you check our page on different platforms, you will have seen the pack that I'm talking about. So is there any other question? Let me check on Facebook. Okay, there's a question on Facebook from Adisa. He said, how do we get rid of, do you mean ride or get rid? Is it read or ride, Adisa? Get rid of this export problem of government different policy in order to maintain trend. This policy and implementation are not helping the infant exporter. Adisa, give me an example of a policy of government that affects you. Give me an example of policy of government that you are banking on and affects you. Maybe that will help me to be able to give you an idea of a strategy you will adopt to prevent that from happening the next time. My recommendation for businesses in Africa is rather than preparing yourself, rather than positioning yourself for government policy or government incentive, I would rather prepare yourself for any incentive that comes. If it comes, you are prepared to take advantage. If it doesn't come, you are prepared to move on with your business. So at the time, I will appreciate if you can mention that, because government go, government come. Different people at the end of affairs with different wisdom, different knowledge, different understanding, different ideology. And because of the different wisdom, different knowledge, different understanding, you expect to see different behavior or character. So Adewale said, can you show us a present model for an ideal website that has all the attributes you discussed? Okay, okay, I will drop for you a landing page for Eureka Park. I will drop for you a landing page for Eureka Park. I will drop for you the landing page of Eureka Park. You can check it. Maybe that will help you to have an idea of how your landing page look like, as if you are trying to get attention. The landing page I'm sending to you even have a click that will take you to if you click on it, you will go to our WhatsApp. It will take you to our WhatsApp immediately. So I've dropped a link for Adewale on Facebook. Let me see if I can do the same on let me see if I can do the same on for one reason or the other, I've not been able to know how. It's like I can't chat. Okay, no. Let me use my monitor. I want to drop it on Facebook. For those on, I've dropped it for those on YouTube. I've dropped it for those on YouTube, and I'm trying to see if I can drop it for those on TikTok. TikTok, I've also dropped it for you. I've dropped the link also on TikTok. I've dropped the link on TikTok. That's for the Eureka Park. Now, just give you an idea of how the landing page should look like. That give you an idea of how the landing page should look like. Have I answered your questions? Any other question for me on Facebook? I'm getting more questions on Facebook today. I've not received any question on YouTube. I'm waiting for your question in case you have any other question for me. Any question for me, please? We'll be rounding up soon. What we've discussed today is basically focused on the AIDA model. Okay, Stay Yuli Media says he has not seen the link yet. I've dropped it, oh. Yulia, can you see it now? Yulia, please check. I've dropped it. Someone said, is the current FS rate going to affect trade in any way? Now, is the current FS model is affecting import, is affecting export trade. The current FS model is called, the government is doing what is called managed float. Naira is currently being floated, but it's managed. So it's not just floating on its own, it's managed float, and it's managed by the central bank. So the question is, this current FS model is not good, it's not favorable for importers, but it's favorable for exporters. It's affecting trade for importers because they don't have FX to bring in the goods, but it's good for exporters. Someone said the link is not showing on YouTube. But why is it not showing? I can see all your messages. Why is my message? What could be the problem? Let's see. What do I do now? I've tried to drop it. I don't know what else to do. I can't. The Ibrahim, I don't know what to do. Unfortunately, I'm monitoring with a device, and the device I'm using to monitor enable me to drop a message, and I've tried to drop the message, but it's not going through. So I really don't know what else to do. I can't see any thing that will help me to be able to know where to drop it. Grace, can you see it? Grace, can you confirm if you can see it? Grace is on YouTube. Grace, can you drop a message? Can you see the link? So I will know if it's general. Okay, I can see that. I can see what the messages I drop. I can't see them on the. Oh, Grace is also saying they can't see. So it's interesting. Let me show you something. If you see this, you will see my message that I drop. If you look at this very closely on this tablet, you can see my picture and what I drop. But when I look at it here, I can't find it. When I look at it here, I can't find it. I don't know if anybody can check. Anybody on YouTube, if you can check on Facebook and if you can copy and paste for us. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Could it be because it's the same account? Anyway, I don't know what the problem is. Those on TikTok, can anybody confirm on TikTok that you saw the message I dropped? But those on if you're on YouTube, 0809-124-4449. Chat 0809-124-4449. Chat 0809-124-4449. If you do that, if you chat that number, you'll get the link. So that we solve that problem. We solve that problem once and for all. Thank you much everyone for being able to join today. It's been another interesting session having this conversation with you. Let me check. I hope there's no other question I've not addressed on Facebook. Okay, Facebook confirmed they can see the link. So I think it's just a YouTube issue. But what do we do? 0809-124-4449. 0809-124-4449. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. See you next week as we continue our conversation. This will talk about being consistent in your promotion activity. Next week, we will talk about another very important characteristics, and that has to do with having a product catalog. Having a product catalog. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.